Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. I am going to do a challenge today. Laura Reads Pages issued this challenge where you are reading books and then you come across a word you don't really know, but you can figure out what it means in the contents of the sentence, and then you need to basically bring those words here and challenge them. She did put together a list, but I waited until I created a list of 5 of my own words that I came across. I read them in, I think, 5 different books. And so I am going to talk about them. So the order of it is you talk about the word, you define the word, you use it in a sentence, and then you have to find the definition of the word to see how correct you are. So we're just gonna jump straight into the first word. So word number 1 came from Where the Crawdad Sings by Delia Owens, and this word was estuaries, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'll put the word right here. So this one came in context of land, so I think it means some sort of marsh area or path. I would probably say, in a way to describe it, it's probably the estuaries or deep and smoggy. So that's my guess. Now I'm going to check the definition. So the correct pronunciation, which I think I got wrong, was estuary. Estuary. And that is, so by definition, the part of the mouth or lower course of a river in which the river's currents meet the sea's tide, or an arm or an inlet of sea at the lower end of the river. So in this regard, I kind of got it right. It was definitely something water related. I knew it was connected to the marsh, but I didn't realize it was actually the marsh itself, not the paths around the marsh. So yeah, I guess I kind of maybe get 50% on that. So the next word comes from War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I read a lot of books at the same time, so I managed to get them all out of different books. But this one is a scarlet-livered. Now or scarlet-livered. This one is in regards to the context of certain people in her household. Now, in my opinion, I think it kind of means a red cloaked servant, in my opinion. That's kind of how I read it, as it is talking about the footman at the time. So the scarlet-livered footman waited at the table. That would be my guess at a sentence for it. So it's actually not located, I can't find it online, the scarlet-livered, but I did find livered, which is clad in livered. So it's like an object of clothing. So I was correct, and it is often regards to servants. So the scarlet-livered would be a red cloaked or red garment being worn by a servant. So the next word actually comes from Where the Crawdad Sings again, and for some reason I thought I got different words for different books, but that's okay. So this one is for the word floodplain. Now, I think that I don't know specifics, but I was able to gather that it is a part of the geographical location, I believe, where it takes place like maybe in a valley, because it is in the marshlands, so where like the water would just sit, but it is kind of like a valley, just with water there. That's my best guess. So like the floodplains overflowed into the connecting lands. That'd be my best guess at a sentence. Okay, so it's kind of similar, but not. So this says, a nearly flat plain along the course of a stream or river that is naturally subject to flooding. So this would probably be like a low bank that is often covered with water. So I'm kind of right. I'm gonna count myself as somewhat right. It isn't a valley, but it definitely is a water-heavy location. The next word comes from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and this one, so that's by J.R.R. Tolkien, and this one is leagues. Now this, I have seen referred to many times. I know it is a distance of land, but I don't know how much. It just strikes me as a far distance. So I am gonna go out on a guess and say something like 100 feet is a league. That's my guess, because I know it's a distance of measure, so I just don't know how much. However, I am also going to say, because it's like they went 30 leagues west as my guess of a sentence. I do think that it's a correct sentence. I don't know if I have the correct measurement in that sentence. So everything that I'm finding is not referring to league as in a measurement. It is only referring to, at least on dictionary.com, as like a group of people, an alliance, those kind of things, which, I mean, I didn't know league was also a term for an alliance, but I knew a league was like, you know, a sports league or something. However, I have found by looking up league measurement how much it exactly is, and it is about 3 miles. At sea, it is 3 nautical miles is 1 league. So that is 3.452 miles, or in Canadian, or, you know, British or whatever, that's 5.5 kilometers is 1 league. So I'm very far off on the distance that a league is, which makes it even more impressive in Lord of the Rings when they're talking about 40 leagues away that Legolas can see. So the last word is rude. So this comes from the Quintlan sisters by, I can't remember her name right now. The picture will be here. But so in this regards, this book is like a lot of like diary entries, and it's taking place from the perspective of the nurse who was there during the birth of the quintuplets, the first ever in Canadian history to survive being born, maybe even to be born. And so in this term, in this book, they also use a lot of newspaper articles that actually were actual events. So I have here a word, the word rude comes from this, and it talks about the farmhouse. And so for me, I think that means like old and run down, probably very like, I don't know how you would say it, like really country if you want to, like not city, not civilized if you want to think of it that way. Yeah, so I think the term rude would be another way for just saying very out of date and not taken care of. So in this regard, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to come up with a sentence off the top of your head. Maybe the sentence would be, the property was as rude as the little family who lived there. I don't know. We'll just check out what the word means now. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm who you meant to? Okay, so there are several meanings here. I will just put a screenshot up of here for you, but basically it's rough, harsh, or ungentle, roughly bought, built, or formed, roughly wrought, not bought, roughly wrought, built, or formed, so a crude construction of a kind, not properly or fully developed, raw, or unevolved. So it's funny that we use the word rude for only manners, but it actually is like rough. Well, it's rough in manners, but it's rough, harsh, or ungentle too. So like that's for rude hands is the example here. So it's an interesting word. I didn't realize rude had so many meanings, but I can totally see how those meanings apply to the word rude. So that is the challenge. I am going to challenge a few people. I would love to see you do this challenge to just expand on our reading vocabulary and to actually understand what we're reading and not necessarily just picking it out of the sentences like it's so easy to do. Find the contextual meaning behind it and not find the actual meaning itself. So I'm going to challenge Angie from Literary Labors. I hope you do this. It's a lot of fun. I'm also going to challenge Tia from Tia and All the Books. I hope that you do this one as well. Please let me know down below if you would like to do this tag or this challenge. I'd love to see anyone do this and try to learn more about words and what we'd love to read in books. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye for now.